All right. Hey, I think I'm live. We're going to do some artwork this morning. Let me check my signal real quick to make sure we're coming through clearly. I have a couple posts to make just for a social meeting, social to make just for a social yeah, social posting, and then we'll get into work here for an hour and a half ish, maybe, probably a little less. Let me distract you with my origin story while I press a bunch of buttons. My name's Theurgy. What's up? Hey, I create role-playing games. I illustrate them. And I publish them online. We're creating an adventure in the Eberron campaign setting. It's called Crystals of Mabar. It's for characters levels 7 and 8. We're fighting necromancers, demons, and undead in the Carnwood of Karnath on the continent of Corvair. And yeah, I've been a DM for since 1987. I've been an Eberron enthusiast since 2004. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. And I've been creating content on the DMsGuild since 2018, but I have yet to publish my own original adventure. So that's what we're doing here in my favorite campaign setting. So let's see. Looks like I've got all the badoops and the clicks came through a-okay. So let me switch cameras here so we can get to work proper. Let me just summarize with saying like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. We're now on episode 452 of creating all the maps, tokens, assets, etc. for the adventure. The entire playlist is here, and a bunch of other books that I've made are down here on the DMsGuild. If I published it, it's 100% free preview. Check it out, read it cover to cover. If you think the stuff that I make is cool, consider buying something to encourage similar behavior in the future. And with that, let's dive into Photoshop. So we'll get the book cover out of the way here. We're working on the last page of the book, which is this last part of the book. This and the prior pages is like how to expand the adventure and how to expand it as an entire campaign. And so we're looking at options for like different types of artifacts that are attuned to different planes of existence in Eberron, that if you use these artifacts, they create manifest zones that connect with those origins. So this is where we got with the flaming the sextant of Furnia. Furnia, the sea of flame. No, sea of fire. Is that what it's called? Furnia, the sea of fire. Sextant of Furnia. There it is. I'm pretty happy with it. It needs more work, but I'm liking it. I like the airbrush sort of look to the fire. I want to put little individual licks of different color, like little white spilling into a brighter blue. Into a paler yellow, fading into red. But I like this base, and I like it so much that I want to step the hell away from it because I spent way too much time on that on screen. And we're going to shift gears and drop down here into Don V. The scales of order. The scales of Don V. Don V, the perfect order. So there you go. Order, scales, makes sense. Click, click. All right, so we're going to proceed. I'm using this as my color reference. I'm going to grab this dark bit, and I'm going to grab this light bit. Actually, I'm going to grab this gray tone here. And how is that? Yeah, it's virtually identical. Perfect. So we'll grab that base. And let's see. Usually, our guiding light, pardon the pun, is generally that like this is the source of light on the page. Projecting light this way and this way. There could be other camera angles that provide light, but I start with the light source here in the center top of the page. Projecting downward, it creates a common light source throughout the entire document that has just a baseline consistency, basically. Basic. So Don V, the perfect order. The way that I'm going to do this is it is illustrated fairly flat, not a lot of depth going on here. I'm going to do half of the illustration, and then I'm going to duplicate and flip it so it's perfectly symmetrical. as would be appropriate for the plane. The plane. So we'll start like this, and we'll just see where it takes us. I stream 9 times per week right now. And so Monday through Friday in the morning like this, we're doing artwork for whatever the next book is. And this is the next book. And then, you know what, before I go filling that in, I'm going to reserve that space for the actual symbol of Donvi. I don't always, but sometimes work the hieroglyphs, the pictographs for each plane into the actual artifact. Not always, but sometimes I do. Here, here, and here, and another one here. If you want to check all these things out, you'll just have to buy the book when it's done, I guess, or at least check it out. Again, for those that aren't indoctrinated, we're using the 16:9 format. This is a digital product, so I'm really taking advantage of the digital tools that we have available to us. If you were to full screen right now, you would see that this document is pretty much filling your device at this format, but each column is also a 16:9. So if you were to hold it horizontally, you would only see one of these at a time. And obviously I can't turn it sideways, otherwise it would get bigger, but it would be like that big on your screen right now if you could. So I mean, the text is like super easy to read. And the entire document is this way. So I've been building this book so that it's each page is its own composition, and each column is its own composition. So this has been quite the project for me. I'm hoping that it goes well, and it's literally taking me years. Like 450 episodes here on screen for about an hour and a half each is about 600 hours spent on camera building this thing so far. That is honestly, that's insane. If I had known that it was going to take this much time and effort to make one of these, I don't know if I would have done it. Honestly, I honestly don't know if I would have done it. But the sunk lost fallacy has me committed to the cause, for better or for worse. This is where I planted my flag. So this is what I'm going to do. And I've enjoyed the experience. There was absolutely no regrets in the time invested in this. I really, really wanted to give something to the Eberron community as a love letter to this fantastic campaign setting. And I want to do another one. There's already another one that I want to do, and that's psychotic, but it is what it is. I sincerely want to. So I don't know when I'll have the time to invest another 2 years into making an adventure like this, but it is my intention to do so before I am dead. And it would be nice that if a result of creating this, if I find a way using my methods and my processes to be able to create shorter, faster dungeons. But yeah, it's considering how much time. I mean, like the 600 hours I spent on screen is like probably a fraction of the time that I've actually spent building this overall. And then I play tested this with 4 different groups. There was 2 different DMs independent of me that also play tested it. So we've gotten some really good feedback, and I think it's really well built. Hey, how you doing, Fernando? Phil is my name. My name is Phil. Absolutely. Most art fills. I'm not gonna say most art fills. I've ran into since having became an artist way back in the 90s. I have since then found more and more visual artists named Phil that all think they're clever, and we all use the three-lettered Phil. I will say that my Phil origin isn't because I wanted to be a clever artist, but because I grew up playing video games in arcades in the 80s. And if you gained top score, you would put 3 letters in, and my 3 letters were Phil, F-I-L. So I was 12. I thought I was being clever. We all think we're being clever. None of us are original. That's like the first lesson of art that I learned. Once I saw that, I'm like, no one is original. All I can really do is just try to be authentic, and I've tried to live by that since. And but yeah, great lessons for a kid to learn. But yeah, I am Phil. My favorite video game of all time is Heavy Barrel. It's like Akari Warriors. It's a shooter game. Like it's a top-down scroller shooter game where you're basically rolling around and fighting enemies. You can go forward and like towards and away from here's your character, and here's his feet, and he's got his gun. And then there's the joystick. There's 2 buttons: shoot and grenades. Shoot, grenade, and then the joystick is a roller. So I can change the orientation of the character as I'm moving around in different directions. So I can shoot at targets over here while retreating in this direction, or advancing in this direction and strafing this way, firing bullets. Akari Warriors does that. I think some other games do that, but it was pretty clever. And Heavy Barrel specifically, there was treasure chests. So when you would kill squads would come at you of infantry, and you're shooting them down. It's like a commando, like the movie Commando or whatever, or any other shoot 'em up sort of scenario. But you were invading an island as a commando to stop a crazed scientist from using a doomsday weapon from destroying the world or some shit like that. And so waves of infantry would come at you, and each wave would have a sergeant, and when you killed the sergeant, you'd get a key. And there was treasure chests scattered throughout every level, and they would have like gun upgrades and grenade upgrades, shields, extra lives, stuff like that. But there was also 6 pieces of the namesake of the game, Heavy Barrel. Heavy Barrel was basically a railgun, like a plasma cannon that your character could carry around. And when you fired it, it just basically destroyed virtually anything that it hit. And it would fill like a third of the screen. So you had it for 1 minute before it would disappear and you go back to your normal gun. If you timed it right, you could have Heavy Barrel during the boss fight and just basically cakewalk the boss. So they rewarded you for knowing where the keys are at and being disciplined to fetch them when you needed them. And sometimes you needed extra lives, so like you give up the piece, so like you would take on a boss fight like normal, and then like get to like 5 pieces of the weapon and wait until the last one fed in so you could get it when you wanted it, and then just like buff out with like hit points or whatever. Yeah, I got so good at Heavy Barrel I could beat it on 1 quarter. And my friend Kyle, he got good enough that he could beat it. We both got ourselves so we could beat it on 1 quarter, and then it was a co-op game, so you'd both play at the same time with different characters. And so we got to the point where we drop in 50 cents and play the entire game, and we can just spend the entire day just racking up high scores on Heavy Barrel. So that was, God, those days, man. Days gone by. Days gone by. So much fun. the most worthless thing to gain system mastery over, but I felt like a god. You know, I could drop a quarter and keep myself entertained at the arcade for 45 minutes. And once you push the game that far, like you get a crowd. So it was fun. I'd drop a quarter and I'd start playing, and people would queue in with me, and maybe they'd survive or not, but I just keep rolling through and say, don't touch that. That chest has a shield in it, or that chest has a random gun in it. You know, like warn them. It's like, hey, do you mind if I take the keys? Because I know where the shit is at. And once I'd rack up my full lot of keys, I would leave it open for, I've got all the keys I need. You go ahead and take whatever you want, but I'll tell you what's in the boxes. That was fucking fun. It was really fun being that guy. My other favorite game in the arcades was Killer Instinct. The first Killer Instinct. That game was awesome. Had tons of people queued up to take their turn at whoever was currently the master. I fucking loved Killer Instinct. And then I got into Samurai Showdown. That was a lot of fun. Never got into Tekken. It was too slow and methodical, and I didn't like the art style of Mortal Kombat. So it was pretty much Neo Geo. Yeah, Neo Geo fighting game. That was where I was at. That and Killer Instinct. Sorry. Complete tangent. Don't know if anyone cares. Oh, that's right. We were talking about where the origins of Phil. So yeah, totally relevant. Oh boy. Last night we spent 3 hours on the Bastion campaign, codifying the mechanics behind settlements. That went really well. I'm really happy with where settlements are at. I think we can pretty much duplicate any city, town, village, whatever in D&D at this point with the settlement system that we have. And I'm really excited about that. The conflict system works really well, so sieges and sabotage are an easy ability check to deal with armies and saboteurs. Sabotages can be either like physical destruction, like bombing something, but it can also be like reputation sabotage, or like performing a coup. All these things can now be mechanically expressed, and depending on what kind of a campaign you run, you want to use different types of sabotage. So, hey, what's up? Oh my god, yeah, KI. So fucking cool. SF. So, Killer Instinct, then Tekken. No, I'm thinking Soul Calibur. What's SF? I don't know what SF is offhand. I'm sure I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, when you tell me, I just can't. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's not Soul Calibur. It's not King of Fighters. Street Fighter. I was a Chun-Li absolutist. I always played Chun-Li. I loved Hyper Street Fighter because she was such an adrenaline junkie. But yeah, I was decent at Street Fighter. I could beat Street Fighter. I might have to spend an extra quarter at some point because I'm dropping names. It wasn't Bison was tough enough. It was the boss fight before Bison, not to do with the claw. Rajat? No, that's not his name. Anyway. Yeah, Street Fighter was good. Street Fighter is super old guard. I liked it. But yeah, Killer Instincts, the combos made was a great evolution, I think, of the mechanic. I mean, you see combos everywhere now. Sagat, thank you. Yes, Sagat. He always gave me trouble. If I can get past Sagat, then I'd probably have to spend a quarter on him Bison, but I could do it. I'm going to take this down the line. Felix, man, how you doing? We have some PTSD puppies in my neighborhood, and they absolutely fucking hate each other when they run into each other. It's so funny. And there's a community of squirrels that live outside my porch, and I've ran out of peanuts, but they certainly enjoy unsalted, in the shell peanuts. Birds and squirrels love the fiber from peanut shells, so I feed them. I toss them peanuts in the morning. Sometimes there'll be a couple waiting for me to come out, so I'm training them pretty well. I'm trying to train the crows so that they start bringing me stuff. I want to see the type of stuff that they think that I want. Kind of excited about that. Trying to finish a one shot for D&D 5 2014. Oh yeah, do you run games, or are you a player? That sounds like you're saying that you are a DM. Let's see if I regret this or not. I doubt it. Oops, that was a bad angle. Right on. Very good. I play in a Curse of Strahd campaign using 5e24 rules. I play once every other week, and then as a DM, I have my home team. It's actually coworkers. I have my coworker team, which I call Lunchtime Adventures. We play 1 hour a week at lunchtime. And we've been doing that for, like almost 8 years now. Almost 8 years. And then I have my Saturday morning playtest table, where I take all the 5e24 stuff that we've been designing and run it inside of a live game. And so so that means I technically run two tables a week, and then play every other week. So I've got my roster is pretty full. And I run campaigns from level 1 to 20 in about 250 hours. I've ran four campaigns. I think 4 campaigns from level 1 to 20 using the 5e game engine. In 2014, I have not yet finished a 20 level campaign in obviously in the 2024 rules, because it takes 200 hours, and I haven't had enough time yet to actually run an entire campaign yet for 24. But I'm primarily focusing on playtesting content for 2024, and so that's a broken experience. I've ran levels 5 and 6. I've ran levels 3 to 5. 5 and 6 separately, and yeah, that's as far as I've gotten in 2024 so far. So the current mega dungeon that we're running for the Martial Powers playtest. I'll be doing Spell Point Sorcerer at lunch today. That'll be around 2:00. That's 7 hours from now. I'll be on for about an hour. Converting the 2024 Sorcerer and the 2014 Sorcerer subclasses into the 2024 mechanics, further modified by the color mana mechanics that I have published on DMsGuild. And once this Eberron adventure is done, we'll be converting the 2024 rules, the color mana system I have published on DMsGuild. We'll be converting that into the 2024 rules as well. Truth be told, once we finish up the Bastion campaign series that we've been doing on Mondays and Thursday nights, that's when I'll be switching gears over into the 2024 updates for the martial power system. As technically, the Color Mana system and Martial Powers are technically the two books I want to publish next. Although the Bastion campaign is gearing up and pretty much at a place like next month. The Bastion campaign will be pretty much ready to go. Yeah, I like that. It looks good. And then let's add in a dark splotch over here. Sorry, I only occasionally look at chat, just basically when I have an opportunity to take a breath or something. So I'm a little jilted and always a little behind. Maybe in the future I can be better at that, but it was about 3 years or so. Right on. You know, I can do 200. I can do 250 hours in a year. If I run a 3 hour campaign, that's is that right? No, it's a little bit longer than that. Hold on, my brain is breaking for some reason. 250 divided by 3. My sessions are typically in 71 weeks. So about a year, 16 months. There you go. In about 16 months, I can pull it off. You're playing in 2014 because my players don't like the 24 rules or don't want to learn. Fair enough. Yeah. Right on. Good. Yeah, this is meant to be a study hall space. I talk about it occasionally, but in high school I spent a lot of school time in study halls doing D&D and artwork and comic books and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm legally blind. I've got things missing in my retina, so I don't see color. I also have limited my resolution. I can't, the camera lens of my eye, I can't focus. Like I can't zoom in or out. I don't have the software in my brain or the firmware in my eyes to be able to zoom. So if I want to see something, like if something's too far away to see, I can't just like focus on it and like figure out what it is. I have to like physically walk up to it. So it's called a chromatopia. A chromatopsia, and there's a link to it down below. But the retina doesn't have any cones, and cones control color as well as like resolution. And so without any, I have very poor resolution technology in my eyes. So in high school or in middle school, we had these classes, like schools divided into semesters, and then each semester is divided into a quarter. So each quarter in this particular year, it was 8th grade. In 8th grade, so I would have been like 13 years old. We had home ec, shop. There's a couple other electives. I don't remember what they were. I took weightlifting. There's like a couple different PE exercise type things that you could opt into, but it was a laundry list of like 9 different things that you could do. It was like a music class. They're electives, right? So there's like this small, like you basically get 2 electives per year that you get to choose to explore, and there's these quarterly basis things. Anyway, so the roster that I had was an art class, and then it was home ec, and then it was shop was the next thing that was supposed to come up, and then I had weightlifting at the end of the year. And so during home ec, we were learning how to sew, and I was fucking around being a stupid kid. and so I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing while I was cutting strings, and I ended up slicing my finger. I had to get 17 stitches. And the school overreacted. They knew I had visual issues, and it was something that they were always sensitive about, like, you know, covering themselves, like liability and shit like that. So this happens. I leave. I go to the hospital. I get my stitches. I come back. La-di-da. But the punchline is like, hey, Phil, we've got we see that you've got shop class coming up. We're not comfortable with you playing with bandsaws and shit like that. We don't want you playing with power tools. So, but the roster, the obviously the sign-up's been over since, you know, forever. So there is no space available for you to go into another elective class. So instead, we're just going to float you the class credit. And we're going to ask that you take study hall instead. And of seven, I had seven classes per day, and this one came in after lunch. So I basically had a 2-hour lunch for a quarter, and it was the senior study hall. So I'm this little sophomore, and it's a class full of seniors, and none of them give a fuck because they're about to graduate because it's third quarter. And they're like, they've checked out. So it's basically just a party for an hour, and the teacher didn't give a shit, and no one else gave a shit. So we were just we would look at comic books and do whatever it is that we want. I'm just like this dorky little kid that obviously doesn't belong there. So I got made fun of at first, but once I started doing artwork, people started taking more interest in, like, you know, what's the kid doing? And so I started gaining respect from other people in the area that were around me, because I was already getting good at art, and then I started getting into D&D around that time as well. And there was other people that in the study hall that were RPG enthusiasts. So that's how I found out about, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle role-playing game, Robotech, GURPS. And Gamma World, I discovered through that study hall, and those are good. Those are fun game systems back in the '80s. They were pretty cool. I also got into X-Men comics as a result of that, and that was in the late '80s, '90s. That was like in the 200 series of the original X-Men series, like the Uncanny X-Men, like. Episode, I want to say, like, I was looking at episode like 194 through, I think that era was like 194 through like 250, something like that. That was a good series. Like when Psylocke became an agent for Manchurian, and Forge got introduced, and followed some of his arc. I don't know. Random stuff, blah blah blah. Anyway, it was cool. So I started getting into comic books a little bit, but it was that taught me. I think the lessons that I learned there were incredibly valuable. That taught me that it doesn't matter who you are. If you demonstrate expertise in your field, you gain respect from people that understand that field. So that being a runt little dork 13-year-old in this class with a bunch of 17-year-olds that are about to graduate, like way outclassing me. By the end of that quarter, I was almost a peer of theirs. Like I wasn't third class, I was second class, and I knew that it was just, if I had had more time, that I probably could have won some of these dudes over, and probably could have got them playing D&D with me if I had wanted to. But alas, earwax, it didn't happen. But that was a really unexpected lessons that I was picking up that year. It was really fucking cool. Yeah, thanks, man. It's a small miracle that I was able to figure it out. One of my friends, Larry, I used to live in Arizona, and Larry, taunted me into trying. This was during the era when print on demand became a thing. But it was, so I became a freelance illustrator like when I was 19. No, not 19. 20. I was 24, and I started doing commission work online. I'd gotten broadband access, and my first year was independent. Like this coincided when at the year 2000 when third edition came out, and the OGL contract happened, the open license, the gaming license, and it caused the explosion of third-party content creators in the third edition / D20 engine. And now anyone could create content for that, but all of these people that were creating content needed art. And at the time, print on demand was too expensive to do color. It could be done, but it was ridiculously expensive. So everyone did black and white art. So I was able to start making a career out of doing freelance artwork because everything was black and white anyway. And then in about a year and a half to 2 years maybe, print on demand had made color possible, so I started losing ground in the market. And around that same time, broadband internet became global, so I was starting to compete against people primarily in Singapore. And since I can't see color and I can't guarantee CMYK proofs for artwork that was being produced, I dropped out of doing professional work like that, and started doing character commissions, but still in black and white. And that started to wane because people were now expecting to get color because that's what's showing up in the books. So I was losing traction there, and I was being undercut by foreign markets that had a much lower lifestyle expense. I couldn't compete. They could charge a third of the price with the same level of quality, and they had the same level of technology that we had in America. So, like, how am I supposed to actually compete against that? I can't. So I was whinging over that, and I'm like, I'm losing market share here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And my friend Larry is like, well, why don't you just work in color? I was like, well, duh, because I don't fucking see any color, dude. And he's like, well, have you tried? And I'm like, no, of course I haven't tried. I don't see any color. How the fuck am I supposed to even know if I get it right or not? He's like, well, why don't you try? We'll tell you if you get it right or not. And legit, that's what it took. Just being called out, like you've quit before you even tried. That doesn't seem like you. That's out of character for you, Phil. What's going on? And I found how much of a weakness I had in my own thinking about myself during that. And so I didn't like what I saw, so I took him on the challenge. And that's how I figured out how to use the RGB scale over here as my color vision. And let me fix this. And it's been working out. So it takes a lot of extra attention, and I know my color theory can be good, but I know I'm not going to be able to like blend warm and cold colors aesthetically and stuff like that. It's all kind of, by the numbers, but it's good enough. It's good enough for what I do, and that's all I need it to be. So fucking Larry, dude, I don't know if you're still out there yet anymore or not, but I appreciate you, my man. You got me here. Just challenging me just to think shit through. It was all I needed. I want to change these chains. I'm really not happy with how these chains are looking. That's one half. Oops, I need to drop the color out of view. But yeah, thanks for being interested enough in my shit to even go look at it. That's I'm flattered. Thank you. Let's do this. And hold on. Let's not this. Let's do. There we go. you stick around long enough, you'll hear me tell some of these stories to new people that show up. So I'm going to erase that. No, I'm going to leave that in place. No, I'm going to erase it. Here's my center point. And I want to add here. I have to concentrate here for a moment. Yeah, digital painting. It made me who I am. I'm very proud of it. There we go. Let's take that. Let's take both of these. Let's duplicate these. Let's free transform. Flip horizontal. That feels appropriate. There. Yeah, that's not bad. Free transform. Duplicate. Free transform. We're going to rotate 180. Actually, let's rotate 90. There. Then free transform. I'm going to skew it a smidge. This here, copy and paste. Transform. There. that down. That stays in place. That goes away. That goes like that. There. I'm going to take all of these, free transform, expand on them a little bit. Yeah, that feels better. I think the balance on that is better. Let's bring this in. And then let's bring this in. There we go. And this one's fine. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Now obviously we'll have to correct the color. That. That. All right, now that I figured that out, I can take a breath. What's up? Ah, thanks. It's very kind. Very, very kind to say. It's I've been at it for, I've probably logged in, 15,000 some odd hours at this point. So what I do, I know how to do, and I try to make it as intuitive as possible. My Zen state, my Zen garden is the easel. So when I'm doing artwork, if I'm doing something that I'm confident I know what I'm doing, I don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing. And the less I pay attention to what I'm doing, typically it's going to look better. So a lot of my art is intuitive. Like, it's just, I'm going with feeling, right? If I don't know what I'm doing and I have to slow down, you'll literally see me like slowing down and like leaning into. And then if I'm really caught up, you'll see me cock my head sideways as I'm trying to noodle through like a dog. Like, what am I looking at? It literally does that. Thank you, Timely Timer. How are we on time? It's 7:30. I've got another 20 minutes left this morning. So where'd I go? What the fuck? Photoshop just crashed. Did you see that? It just fucking what happened? It was there and then it was gone. It just fucking disappeared. All right. Fuck you. Oh my god. If I'm lucky, it saved it and I didn't lose anything. That is outrageous. Okay, I didn't lose much. Jesus fuck. Jeez, okay, I literally lost nothing. God bless it. Just a little bit of color. Fuck all. I'm just gonna leave that like that. I'm sure that's fine. Oh, I literally lost nothing. Oh no, I had resized it and then I didn't pick up the resize. Wow, that was such a fuck over. Oh no, I did. It doesn't fit anymore. Okay, so yeah, this is all no loss. Fucking A. File, save as, computer. Appendix 1, 2. Production. Yes. Wow, that was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Control S is... It's a good Twitch habit. Like you know what this feels like. All right, no regrets. Let's get back at it. We got time. Fucking A. And then tragedy strikes. Sad. I gotta say though, the recoveries, the Photoshop's recovery has gotten considerably better over the years. There appears to be a gap. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Got grit in my eye. Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever. We'll just leave it like that. It's good enough. It's good enough. We'll probably add more detail to these chains when we get there. But we're not there yet. This is looking pretty good, though. Okay, hit save again. Paranoia will destroy you. One, two, three, four, and... yeah. So we can duplicate these layers. Free transform. Free... hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the whole lot. I don't know why I'm hesitating. Duplicate the group. Free transform. There it is. Flip horizontal. There we go. Let's see. Copy paste, pre-transform. Flip horizontal. There. Merge down. Hey, we're back where we once were. Get back, Loretta. Go home. Highlights. Shadow. Yeah. Better worlds. All of them. Better worlds. Building better worlds. Let's grab some more shadow and just keep at it. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Did not know I was doing that. Painting on the wrong layer, but I'm just gonna go with it. More regerts. That feels good. Here. You gotta stop doing that, Kearney. Wrong layer. Stick with the right layers. You know what? Fuck it. Oops. There. Let's just do this right. So far, so good. So what? I just want to do this like fade sort of effect going in. So the line art's separate right now, but when we finish this this initial passover, we'll then bond the line art to the color and we'll blend it together so it feels less comic booky and more semi-real. I was up until recently. I was whinging over. I plan to start doing Kickstarters in a year or two, and I've been developing a role playing game to make a Kickstarter out of that we've been using at my lunchtime table at work, and it's been going great. So I've been whinging over when I do this, when I want to actually make the Kickstarter and do the books and stuff like that, if I want to make a printed book, I'm going to have to go with black and white. If I go PDF only, I can do color. And if I do color, it'll be more like this, more like what you normally see from me doing on a daily basis. If I do black and white only, it will certainly go more quickly, and I won't have to worry about the color proofing. But now with where the world market is at, I don't, well, A, it's a little premature for me to making decisions about what's going to happen 2 years from now, so I really don't need to worry about it. This is reality saying, slow down, Phil. You're not there yet. Don't worry about that. But if tariff conditions still remain deplorable for the RPG industry, and it doesn't make any economic sense for me to do print books, then I will just stay with this 16:9 format and just stay with PDFs. And that decision will have been made for me yet again, being just walked through whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. So this is my appreciation and thanks to my muse yet again, her holding my hand and carrying me through decisions that I have to make in my life and putting me in a good place. Yeah, I like that. That was pretty good. And we wanted, sorry, my bad English. Don't mention Kickstarters to me. I'm making a video game. We wanted to use Kickstarter, but the platform is not available. I'm like, oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Trying to remember not to mention Kickstarter to you. My apologies if when I forget. Let's just do a fade here. Fade that out there. I do enjoy manually producing gradients like this. It's like these fade effects and I just like blending. I'm a blending junkie. I am a smudge expert, a smudge enthusiast. And I think it's in May. The intention is sometime before the end of May to get my Patreon restructured so that I can start posting art as stock art, establish the Shopify channel that I have now for my 500, 3,000 hour Patreon. My YouTube is giving me partial sponsorship at this point, so I can set up a Shopify account. I want to fill it with stock art. I want to rebuild my Patreon so that $1 members get unlimited reprint licensing with the stock art that they buy from me. And yeah, and just get a little bit more organized, a little bit more professional. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office requires that I have a public use of the trademark that I've been looking for, the game that I'll be creating called Guild Delvers. So it looks like the process of getting the trademark approved is coming along nicely. But I have to build a website with about Guild Delvers so that I can attach that to the application process to satisfy the demonstrating public use of the trademark to secure it as mine. So I'll be building a very rudimentary, bare bones minimum website about that in the next 4 weeks. It's technically due in 5 weeks, so I'm going to see if I can get it done in 3. But it can be a very basic website. It doesn't have to be anything too complicated. But I have to build it, you know. So I guess I could just slapdash something up onto I'll figure something out. There we go. Let's do that. Oh wait, wrong stack. Here. That's good. There. Oh shit. Derp. Well, timely timer. Time is as time does, my guys. The last subclass I need to rebuild for the Spellpoint Sorcerers supplement is the Lunar Sorcerer from Dragonlance. It's the triple changer. That spell list changes with the phase of the moon of all things. So I'll be working on that at lunchtime today, which will be at 2 p.m. Seattle time. Which will be 5 p.m. East Coast. It'll be for about an hour or so. That is, it's almost 8 o'clock now, so that will be in 6 hours from now. I'll be on jamming through that, unless something happens and my workday gets scuttled. So hopefully my workday doesn't get scuttled. But but the intention is to be back here at the allocated time. Tomorrow morning we're going to come on and we'll finish this tomorrow. And I'm just going to take this and this real quick, duplicate them, free transform, flip horizontal. See, that's looking pretty good. I've got no complaints about this so far. Yeah, pretty simple. So I'm gonna drop those out of the way. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll finish up this, and if we finish it efficiently, we'll start on the Carillon of Dalcor. Is it Kori? Carillon of Kori? Dalcor. Yeah, the Carillon of Dalcor, the region of dreams. This is a bunch of... A carillon is an organ, but it's played with bells instead of pipes. So you press the keys, and well, this is a Dalcor carillon. So all the hammers, it's not mechanical. It's writhing tentacles that hit each of the bells, but you're still controlling it like a piano. So weird device. It's a real thing, I swear. It's just a little weird, but yeah. So that's the musical instrument that creates a manifest zone to Dalcor. Yeah, we'll be back. That's it. I'm out for now. I'll be back in 6 hours. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me, guy. I appreciate you, Felix. And Fernando Ixolix. That's what I should say. Ixolix. Multi-class of Warlock recently to a lunar source. Oh, neat. Just the extra shield spell. Yeah, right on. Cool. See you on the other side, my guy. Everyone else, like, subscribe. Check out my shit down below. I'll see you. Cheers.